Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of my vlog. My week has been rather busy with work and stuff, and several late finishes there, so I've not had much of a chance to fit things in. I did have a date on Sunday, which was lovely. Met at Hotel Chocolat, and their hot chocolate is far too rich for anybody planning on going for you to have anything else, if it's anywhere close to a mealtime. But yeah, I had a lovely chat with the girl I was meeting, talking about life, intersectional feminism, so very highfalutin, rarefied conversation, but alas, neither of us felt a spark, so once again I'm thrown back into the dating world. I've got nothing else lined up for the moment, so yeah, like I've said before, if you have any single friends, point in my direction. As for how I feel I'm going with my transition, I'm not feeling any different. Appetite's still been great, and yeah, no other noticeable changes at the moment, but I'm sure they'll start happening gradually. So brings me on to the main topic of today, and rather more highbrow, I guess, than some of my previous topics. So I'm going to be talking about feminism today, and I think rather than give it to you all at once, I'm going to split it down into a few topics. So today I'm going to chat about what it means, to me at least, to be female, and as before, I'm not pretending in any way to be an expert on this. If you want an expert, go speak to my ex who lectures on feminism. This is just my opinion and interpretation of what is a very complex topic. So, a rather pejorative answer to what does it mean to be female. It means whatever you want it to. It means different things to different people, and I suppose that is indeed the simplest way of looking at it. But obviously there are lots of different definitions that you can give. Is it self-identification, which is the one that I choose because I guess it suits my current situation? Is it the possession of a female body, you know, having breasts, having a uterus, having ovaries? Is it something deeper than that? Is it having two X chromosomes? Is it not having the SRY gene? Or is it having what's termed a female brain or female body biochemistry? And I'm not here to tell you which answers are right or wrong, I'm just here to give you my opinions and interpretations and spout nonsense as I usually do. Now, if you subscribe to the idea of the female body, then what about people who are female genetically but don't necessarily have breasts, uterus, ovaries for reasons of cancer or for having one of the many intersex conditions? Do they count as less female, or are they special exemptions? And I'm going to maybe talk a bit more about the politics of exclusion in one of my other episodes, so less of that for today. So I suppose leading on from that, the question is, when do we become gendered? Or when do we become female? Or I'm sure as some feminists would like to put it, when do we start getting oppressed by the patriarchy? That's not something that I personally would subscribe to necessarily, but I do believe that there are some people who are genuinely oppressed by the patriarchy. I don't feel like I'm one of them. So, does it begin before conception? Does it begin at conception? Does it begin at birth? Does it begin at some point after birth when you first identify as being female, or does it begin when the patriarchy starts identifying you as female? And I genuinely don't know. But moving on a wee bit to philosophy, I suppose I'm going to talk a bit about existentialism here. Now, existentialism is the school of thought propounded by the mid-20th century French philosophists, particularly Jean-Paul Sartre, and their principal philosophy is that l'existence précède l'essence, that the existence of a being, so you come into existence before you are anything. So you exist before you are, say, female, or before you are black, or before you are whatever else. Now, clearly that's nonsensical, but there are certain aspects of the existential school of thought that I quite like. Now, they have a concept called facticité, which is a way of a sort of workaround to get around the fact that there are certain things that are concrete and are fixed that limit human freedom. For example, our genetics, or the fact that, you know, somebody may have had hypoxia intrauterine and then be disabled when they come into existence. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but this is just my way of trying to explain what are in fact rather complex concepts to you. So I quite like Simone de Beauvoir, and those of you that follow me on Instagram will have seen that I quoted something from her work Le Deuxième Sexe. Now, the title of Le Deuxième Sexe in fact hints at the existential philosophy, in that women are perceived as the second sex. The default position for any being when it comes into existence is male, and it's only society that makes us female, and obviously that's not entirely true. But the quote that I like from this work is on ne naît pas femme, on le devient, which means one isn't born a woman, one becomes a woman. So you're just a being in existence when you're born, and then it's through the social construct of gender that you become female. Now, I don't know whether this is completely true or not. I certainly don't believe it entirely, because there are certain things in la facticité that we are born with. So do I believe that gender is an entirely social construct? No, but there are certain aspects of gender, for example the gender binary, that are heavily socialized. Now, say, take a list of attributes or things that you may like or dislike. So assertiveness, caring, leadership, fashion, beauty, makeup, sports, lager, prosecco. These are all things that are gendered, but the reason why they're gendered, is that a social thing, or does that have to do with something deeper? I think, you know, these characteristics, and, you know, spatial awareness is another one I throw in there. These are certainly things that predominantly are as a social construct. However, there is evidence of people with a more male biochemistry having better spatial awareness, and this isn't opinion, this is fact. So it's more difficult than a lot of people would have you believe, and certainly today, and certainly in future episodes, I'm probably going to be asking more questions than I'm answering, and anybody wishes to debate anything with me, then I'm happy to chat to you at length. But I'm going to try and keep these short and sweet, so that's me for today, and I hope to see most of you again next week. Bye for now.